In this video, we're going to share with you how to add a client to the intake queue. So if you notice, add new client, click that button, and I'm going to put in, let's just say, James Bond. His email would be jbond@gmail.com. Phone number is 123-456-7890. This is not necessary, date of birth. I mean, but if you have it, it doesn't hurt. I mean, you certainly could put the gender in. I'm not sure if you see this on your end. I think this is what I see because I'm the admin. But technically, I can make, if I'm creating this contact for any of you, I would click on the appropriate name so that you all have access to it. But what we do want to do is invite the client to the Messenger portal. The Messenger portal is the place where you communicate back and forth with your client. We encourage you not to communicate primarily through text, through email, but through the client portal. And let me just be honest with you. When you do what's convenient, it can create problems down the line. Because if you have to follow up or dig into some message as a reminder of what you discussed, it's hard trying to search all your platforms for the last conversation you had. But when you have a back and forth conversation in the client portal, it just makes everything easy, okay? Then you click save. All right, so here we go. We have James Bond here. And I just want to go through this dashboard here. This is where you can click on to see all of the invoices that have been paid and all the services that have been provided. Likewise with packages. This is where their card would be on file. If they're completing the onboarding documentation, then this will already be complete. This file tab, this is awesome because you can upload anything here. If you want to upload homework, like if you're sending them homework, upload the homework here. They come into the client portal to find their homework, you see, as opposed to you emailing them homework. Trust me, this is brilliant. The message, this allows you to have a, not necessarily an instant message, but this is how you would communicate. So rather than sending emails, you would send your message through here. It would appear like, hi, James, send message. It appears right there. Then they leave a message. It appears right under. So you could see the entire history of your conversation right here in the client portal. So please keep it because it's very helpful. And, you know, any events that we may have, we typically don't use that. But this allows us to also tag the client. So let's just say this particular client was first a prospect, obviously, right? Let's just say, you know, when we have an initial call with them, we'll add them as a prospect until they close. And then when they become a client, let's just say, as an example, they become a part of our Moving Forward program. We have a number of different tags to associate with each particular client. That way it's easy to search them out in particular groups, okay? You can add a task here, all right, for yourself as a reminder, and it appears in your notifications here at the top. Access control, that's if I want to give it to any of you. So it's pretty cut and dry, but let's go over here to the left. When you see timeline, so here at the timeline, if we click on the plus symbol, you have the ability to create a new note, to book an appointment, to send forms, and to send a journal. These are the two primary tasks or tabs that you will click on for any new client. So sending forms, they have to complete an intake form, which is called the Couples Academy Onboarding Documentation. So you want to be able to click that. If it's a woman and you're doing individual counseling with a woman, then you're going to click the CA, which is Couples Academy Women Onboarding Documentation. Very similar, a little bit different. And if they're doing an intensive, after they have completed onboarding documentation, we will then send them the marriage intensive pre-work. But in this case, we're going to keep it there with Couples Academy onboarding documentation. It populates their name, it populates their email. You have the ability of putting the date in. So let's just click on today's date. enable appointment reminder. Okay, so if enabled, Intake Queue will insert a reminder question in your form where your client will be able to opt in by choosing the reminder method. You don't have to take any action. Intake Queue will send the reminder using the method chosen by the client. So when they're initially filling out their documentation, they have an option to say, yes, send me a reminder. And they can click by email, through SMS, which is text, or by a phone call. Most choose text because it's simple. So prior to that appointment, they will get a reminder the day before. This is important because we have a policy about canceling a session within a 24-hour period. If they cancel beyond 24 hours, they're fine. They can reschedule, no big deal. If it's within 24 hours, they are well aware that they lose that money. Okay, we keep a portion of it. Don't enable this if you are taking intake queue calendar to manage your appointments as reminders already. But so in essence, I usually typically click it. Okay, this allows us to put in the appointment time if you know what it's going to be. I leave this blank for the most part, and then I click send form. Okay, client address has been rejected. That's because I made it up. But in essence, that's what it would be. So we'll cancel that out. But you get the point.